That really was a coincidence. What happened, June? I happened to be around my mother-in-law's house, so I visited her for the first time in a while, hoping to see her. The front door was open, and the house was a wreck. My mother-in-law was sitting down, looking like she was about to cry at any moment. She looked much thinner, completely different from the last time I saw her. Her lively smile was nowhere to be found. "Where's your daughter?" "I don't know. She's been gone somewhere since the day before yesterday. She even hid my phone." I quickly contacted my sister-in-law, but she didn't seem to regret it and simply tossed off this remark. I'm on vacation now. The old woman right there is a nuisance, so I left her behind. You can take care of her until I get back." At that moment, I felt a surge of tremendous anger throughout my body. I couldn't forgive her, even if she was my husband's sister. I never thought it would come to this. This is awful, no matter who she is, even we're family. I'll corner her as far as I can go. My name is Alice, and I am 29 years old. I am a working housewife, juggling household chores and working as a staff member for a clothing brand. My husband Ken and I have been married for 2 years. We're both so busy that we don't even have time to think about having children and are devoted to our work every day. His kindness hasn't changed since we started dating, and I have no complaints about our married life. I feel that our respect for each other has increased since we started living together after marriage. I was convinced of his good character when I first visited his parents' house to greet them for our marriage. In his family home, his mother, a very kind person with a wonderful smile, lives alone since his father passed away. Mother-in-law has very nice smile and she is a gentle person. "Alice, please take care of Ken from now on. From now on, you can think of me as your real mother." The reason Ken grew up to be such a wonderful and kind person is because he was raised by this mother. I was able to marry him with peace of mind because I felt that way again. After that, we started our newly married life together. Having a second mother made for truly happy days. But half a year later, a problem arose. It came to light through a phone call from my mother-in-law, who was living alone. "Your birthday is coming up soon, and I thought I'll give you a present. Is there something you want now?" At my mother-in-law's words over the phone, my heart jumped. This was because what she said was exactly the same as yesterday's. While maintaining as much composure as possible, I continued the conversation, hiding my disarray. "No, June, didn't we decide over the phone yesterday to go out for a meal together?" "Oh, really? I've been forgetting things lately. I'm sorry. Is that so?" "It's okay. You forgot? We've talked about the same thing yesterday." "I'm sorry, Alice. I've been a little weird lately." "June." I became worried and immediately consulted with my husband. I brought up what happened today to him when he came home from work. "Hey, I'm a little worried about mother-in-law." "What's wrong?" "I think she might have dementia. I'm sorry if I'm misunderstanding." "What? Dementia? My mother?" "Yes, actually." I explained the situation in detail to my husband. Today, she talked about the same things as yesterday on the phone, and she doesn't remember any of it. She is aware that she forgets things often. My husband, surprised by the story, hurriedly decided to go to his parents' house over the weekend. When we visited his parents' house, we met an unexpected person, not just my mother-in-law, who was supposed to be living alone. "What? Sister-in-law?" For some reason, Ruby, my sister-in-law, who was supposed to have married and moved out of town, was there. Lying on the sofa, she turned her gaze towards me and said dully, "Long time no see, Ken. What's up?" "What? Why are you here?" "Why? It's my house. So I can be here, right? That's true, but what about your kids and husband? I just got divorced the other day. Didn't I tell you? What? What about the kids? I left them with that man. I don't need them anymore. What? With an indescribable expression, my mother-in-law listened to the conversation between her daughter and son. She dropped another bombshell without reading the situation. So I've decided to live here again from today. Wait a minute. Mother is having a hard time. What do you mean, mother is having a hard time? Well, that's... What? Are you keeping secrets from your big sister? That's not it, but... Then hurry up and say it. She glared at her brother and demanded an answer. I can't keep silent anymore. Especially now that my sister-in-law is saying she's going to live at home from today. Actually, my husband explained everything that had happened to his sister. He also mentioned that we were planning to take her to the hospital. However, his sister was dismissive. Feel free to take her, I don't care. I couldn't understand how she could be so indifferent when there was suspicion of dementia in her own mother. Doesn't she worry about her mother? There's a chance that her mother might forget about her. Isn't it normal to worry if you're going to live with her? Although I couldn't say it to her face, I felt that she was heartless. And so, my husband and I headed to the hospital with our mother-in-law feeling complicated. The result of the examination showed that she was in the early stages of dementia. Am I going to forget more and more? Seeing her troubled smile made my heart ache and I felt tears welling up. However, not wanting to make her more anxious, I held back my tears. I smiled brightly at her. June, the doctor said it's only in early stages. You'll be okay. But dementia is unstoppable and incurable, isn't it? You'll be fine. There are medications to slow the progression now. And there's no way you'd forget your family, right? You're right, Alice. There's no way I'd forget my family. That's the spirit, June. Whether they were relieved to see her smiling again, my husband looked relieved as he drove. I decided that I would visit her regularly and accompany her to the hospital. Everything changed drastically a week later. My sister-in-law called me. Hello? She sounded like she was on the verge of tears. Please, help me, Alice. What happened, Ruby? What's wrong? I have a favor to ask you, but it has to be a secret from Mom and Ken. A favor? Something about her desperate voice was unsettling. I took a deep breath for the time being, calmed down, and decided to ask about the situation. Okay, what's going on? Mom's dementia is getting worse. She's throwing stuff away and eating everything in the house. Okay, I understand. We'll come over this weekend. You better not. She's been having a lot of days where she doesn't even recognize me. What? According to my sister-in-law, mother-in-law's condition has significantly worsened, to the point where she didn't even recognize her own daughter. Not only that, but she would get so angry when people came to the house that it was impossible to handle her. As I listened, I could feel tears welling up in my eyes. What made me sad and frustrated was the fact that my beloved mother-in-law June might forget about me. June, why? The symptoms hadn't progressed until half a year ago. I regretted my past actions. For the first 2 months after the dementia diagnosis, I visited the in-laws' house regularly. However, both my husband and I have been busy with work recently and we couldn't visit as much. There was no response when I tried to contact my mother-in-law's smartphone. According to my sister-in-law, Mom always seems to forget where she left her phone and loses it. So I couldn't talk directly with June. Maybe this is my punishment. I left everything to my sister-in-law. While I was regretting my past actions in my head, My sister-in-law started talking in a nervous manner. I know this is sudden, but could you lend me some money? I feel bad asking you, Alice. Huh? Money? I've been keeping quiet about this, but I've been a victim of domestic violence from my husband and I've run away. I've been living off my savings, but it's tough without a job. Then we should talk to Ken. I don't want to worry him. I'll pay you back once I start working, please. Sister-in-law. I could hear her desperation in her shaky voice. An invisible cry of pain stabbed me in the heart. I had no idea my sister-in-law was in such a difficult situation. Although I didn't know, I left my mother-in-law to her while I prioritized my work. I want to help her in any way I can. Even though I'm busy with work and can't often visit the in-laws' house, I want to do as much as I can. I understand. I'll transfer some money, so could you tell me your bank account details? Really? Thank you, Alice. The next day, I promptly transferred the requested $3,000 into the account provided by my sister-in-law. Thank you. You're truly a lifesaver. Please keep this a secret from Mom and Ken, alright? I received this message and decided to keep this secret with my sister-in-law. However, how carefree I was at this time, I would come to realize later. At that time, I was completely trusting my sister-in-law, not realizing what was important. About 6 months after I started sending money, the requested amounts started to increase rapidly. I was asked to send money twice a month at times. Because of the promise with my sister-in-law, I couldn't tell my husband or mother-in-law. Troubled, I decided to consult a lawyer. When I explained the situation, the lawyer informed me that a contract is established even if it's just a verbal agreement. My sister-in-law stated explicitly during our exchanges that I'll pay the money back once I started working. So, if she doesn't pay the money back, it would be a breach of contract. It's not that I doubt my sister-in-law. But thinking about potential issues, I thought it would be safer to consult the lawyer regularly. One day, I happened to be working near my mother-in-law's house and I decided to stop by to see her, whom I hadn't seen in a while. I had been worried about her. She's emotionally unstable and she doesn't even recognize her family, so don't confuse her. I had been told by my sister-in-law that prevented me from visiting my mother-in-law's house. I don't mind if she has forgotten who I am. I just wanted to see my beloved mother-in-law's face, even if it was just for a moment. With that determination, I rang the intercom of my mother-in-law's house. However, no matter how long I waited, there was no response, not even a sound. I didn't think she would be out, so I reached out and touched the doorknob. Huh? It's open. The front door was not locked for some reason. What I saw then left me speechless. The house was filled with trash to the point where it was unrecognizable from before. And in the midst of all that, there was my mother-in-law alone. Are you okay, June? She looked very thin, nothing like the last time I saw her. The cheerful smile that had once been on her face was nowhere to be found. Where is your daughter? I don't know where she went. She left about 2 days ago. My smartphone has been hidden. Hidden, not lost? It's not that I lost it. She hid my phone somewhere so I can't contact Ken and you. She's been selling things in the house without me knowing, and I haven't been fed properly. That can't be. From what she was saying, it didn't seem like her dementia was as advanced as my sister-in-law had claimed. When I called my sister-in-law, she answered immediately, but showed no sign of remorse and said dismissively, I'm on a trip with my boyfriend for the next week. Is there something you need? Can I wait until I'm back? You left Mom alone at home and you are traveling with your boyfriend? What are you talking about? Oh, you found out. I've been using the money you've been giving me for my boyfriend. I didn't use a single yen for Mom, and I even used her pension without her knowing. What? I left that senile old lady because she's a nuisance. You take care of her until I come back. At that moment, a furious anger rose within me. Even if she is my husband's sister, I can't forgive this. I didn't think it would come to this. No matter who it is, even if it's family, this is terrible. Now I'm going to push her to the end. In a week, got it. We'll be waiting for your return. With that, I hung up the phone. Then, I turned around and smiled at my mother-in-law. It's just a little longer, Mom. I reported everything to my husband over the phone. He understood the situation and left work early to hurry home. My husband and I searched the house and found her phone hidden in the kitchen cabinet. We immediately packed up her belongings and headed to our apartment. After discussing it, she agreed to live with us from now on. We decided to demolish the house to prevent my sister-in-law from doing whatever she wants with it. The demolition will start in 5 days. In the meantime, I went to the lawyer's office to start the process of claiming damages from my sister-in-law. A week later, the day my sister-in-law was to return finally arrived. My husband, mother-in-law, and I waited for her return in front of the almost demolished house. Then, I saw my sister-in-law walking arm in arm with a man in the distance. She froze when she saw the demolished house. And then she sprinted towards us at a terrific pace. Hey, what's this? What's going on? Welcome back, sis. Did you enjoy your trip? As you can see, your house is gone, so you should find a new place to live soon. What's this doing behind my back? Don't joke around. Oh no, sis. This was done with your mom's consent, so it's not arbitrary at all. Huh? I don't care about that. I'll sue you. I won't let this go. As my sister-in-law ranted and raved, I handed her an envelope. I thrust it at her with a smile. You're the one who's going to pay damages, sis. What? What stupid thing are you saying? When you borrowed money from me, you said, I'll walk and pay back. You haven't forgotten, haven't you? No, well, besides, I'm not even working yet. You even lied about using the money for your mom. So you lied to me when you borrowed the money, sis. Did you know? That's called fraud. What? I wouldn't know about any fraud. Don't be so dramatic. While saying this, my sister-in-law tried desperately to push the documents back. I pushed back and clearly said to my sister-in-law, You're an adult. Act like it. Can't you clean up your own messes? How much trouble do you have to cause our family before you are satisfied? Do you understand how she has been feeling every day? That's psychological abuse. What you've done? I didn't know that. I've been living with Mom. You've been living in this house, not letting your mom live with you. Don't mess with me. You've been using all Mom's pension and all the money you borrowed from me, all for yourself. I'll corner you until you understand the gravity of your actions. Don't ever come near my mother again. Hearing my words, my sister-in-law slumped to the ground perilously. The man with her turned pale watching the scene and hurriedly ran away somewhere. Afterward, my sister-in-law lost contact with that boyfriend and truly became alone. She had lost all support and a place to live. The current her, I heard rumors, was desperately living while juggling part-time jobs. And I found out later that the reason for her divorce from my brother was her infidelity. Although she is still in her 30s, she looks much older. I imagine she'll continue to crawl alone at the bottom of hell. That's all karma. As for me, who started a new life with my husband and mother-in-law, during the day, we ask a helper to take care of my mother-in-law, while in the morning and night we take care of her ourselves. We are spending our days going shopping on holidays while enjoying taking care of her. The progress of her dementia is slower than we imagined, and she is spending her days full of smiles. From now on, as her daughter, I want to protect this smile that I love so much.